Let's go out there.
What a beautiful day. We should do a remote.
Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't that be nice if we
On-
took live
on the
impact
lake?
news on the road, on the lake?
Has such a ring to it. I hope Sharif's listening. We want to go to the lake.
Sharif,
Sharif still owes his bagels.
That's true.
I'm going to say this on our WCNC.
yeah, bringing us bagels.
Well, yeah, there was a joke
These are
that
just
Sharif
news
was going to
record.
bring bagels and donuts. So we keep on bringing it up until he brings us
It
bagels or
hasn't
donuts.
happened yet.
No, it has not. So Sharif, if you're listening, I'm saying it. We're going to record it. We're going to put it on the
We've been at
internet.
this for 3 months and there's
From-
still no bagels.
Yeah, I
Y'all's
know.
mouth.
Before it was just a joke. Now it's serious. Sharif, I'm looking right at you. No, you're watching. Okay, we'll move on.
All right. Chris Mulcahy is in the Live Impact studio right now, and guess what?
What?
Your computer works?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, it does. My computer works. I love my cell phone because there's always the codes on codes. Because I was saying last time
Yes.
that the app that supplies the code was asking for the code. So, but we're good now. Yeah, no, we're fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Up and running.
We should be able to see Lake Norman if the graphics are correct. So cue graphics.
There it
Let's
is.
see.
Boom.
Boom. That is beautiful. We have beautiful blue skies to enjoy. It is going to be hot and very humid as it has been. However, if we're splitting hairs here, it is going to be about 2 hairs less humid than the last 2 days.
Oh.
So pretty good. We've peaked around 95, 96 back-to-back days. Yesterday we hit a high of 91. We are going to move forward to 93 today. So since 91 is the hottest we've been so far this season, that means today is the hottest air temperature we've had so far. However, it's not going to hold that title very long because by the end of the weekend, we're looking at the mid-90s and then even the upper 90s thereafter. So highs around the area, I think you have 88 right around Hickory, close to 90 in Morganton, and then the mid to the upper 70s. Always an escape from the heat up in the high country, and eventually you'll be averaging more of the 80s there as well. So I want to talk about our average highs. It's typically July that is our hottest month. That's actually our most active month for lightning, too, as a bonus fact.
Oh, really?
88 degrees, 89, 90, and 91. So this is the hottest that our average high temperatures get. We're not going to have a new set of average temperatures until 2030 because they do a new average update every 10 years. 88 degrees actually just changed for today. We move up to 89 come June 23rd, and then 91 officially on July 11th. And a lot of people misuse this, and this is not your fault. Only meteorologists and a handful of people know this, that the dog days of summer actually has a set date. It's from July 3rd until August 11th. And it has all to do with the dog star, Sirius, rising and setting with the sun. So we are about to head into the dog days of summer. We're not quite there, but hey, close enough, right? 93 today, 92. And then we have the cool spot. What do you think? 89.
89.
All right.
89. So yeah, I know. It's like-
Excited for back in the 80s.
so bust out the winter coat, 89
Right.
on Friday, and then we're back to the mid-90s on Sunday. And then the big story is really what we have next week. That's where we have the true heat wave. There are 2 definitions that can be used here in the Charlotte area. One, it's 3 days or more of 90 degrees. You typically use that before summer because we literally average 90 for about a month and a half. But then the secondary definition is 3 days or more of unseasonably warm temperatures. And since we're going to be in the mid to the upper 90s, for sure, we got a big time heat wave that's coming. And if you add any moisture content to some of the temperatures I'm going to show you here in a sec, we're easily going to get to that 100-degree plus. Today, I don't think we do it. If we do it on Thursday, I think you just barely touch it momentarily. Friday's the best feeling day, which, by the way, Friday is my pick of the week. So, yeah, enjoy it.
Hey.
Not a Nick Ick, a Chris pick.
Pick.
And then either side of 100 is the real feel for the peak over the weekends. And our lows aren't that low. 70 to 75 really over the next 10 days. That's just the next 5 sample. We typically are in the upper 60s, so this isn't really a huge big deal. And our rainfall chances, only one day really stands out. Friday does not have any rain. There's the slightest chance for maybe a shower in the mountain, but tomorrow is the best chance for a scattered shower or thunderstorm, but it's also the best one for a severe thunderstorm. You have a front that is pushing into the area, and I think you have a chance for isolated large hail. That's a very low chance. May is typically our hail month because once you start getting close to about 90 degrees, a lot of it will melt. So you can still have hail, it's just not as large. You need the perfect setup, and I don't think we really have that. Damaging winds, though, we do have a low to a medium threshold, but we're not going per se like weather alert day. I'm just telling you to be weather alert because of this. Because truly, the difference that I'm seeing here for the map, this is just fancy colors from the Storm Prediction Center. During any summer day, you have a chance for wind damage from one of these thunderstorms. It's maybe a slightly better chance that these start to glom together, and I'll show you that here in a second. But I don't think this is an exceptional severe weather chance, even though we do have a medium threshold per the Storm Prediction Center. For today, though, I think Charlotte has a good chance of staying dry. You see a few storms really to the north around Morganton over to Taylorsville. These storms are mainly staying in the foothills. You don't really see too much of a push outside of that. One tries to work its way in during the evening to Chester and York County, but poof, like Houdini, it disappears after the sun sets. So if there were to be a storm in the greater Charlotte area, I think it would be in South Carolina. I think most likely it'll start to fade out, but I'm going to still give there a general chance for a storm during the evening hours later on tonight, but I think the afternoon is staying dry. Tomorrow, though, we're dry in the morning, but then here comes that storm chance. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Most of the activity right now is trending to be north of Charlotte. Doesn't mean you're not going to see it here in Mecklenburg County. So I think the general window of 2 to 6 is where most of it rolls through to either side of I-77. By about 8 o'clock, I think we're pretty much clear. There could be a leftover storm during the afternoon, but that's your best chance. There's still a chance for wind damage, especially when those storms like to gather together. They team together, Red Rover, send the storms over type of deal. When they link together, that's where they can all band and allow for a gustier line along that. I'm not seeing any shrimps as we like to refer them here, so that means pretty much no tornado chance. Now we head into the true summertime pattern. You see this especially in Florida's forecasts, that you have a 90-degree high, it's humid or muggy or tropical air with a 20% chance. We're going to keep those 20s around because each and every day that's hot and humid, we'll have a chance for a pop-up shower or storm. That actually will start to become more rare for us not to have at least this 20. That's maddening as a forecaster because anything goes. You can't. It's tough to plan things because you could have a picnic or grilling or like that, and it's like, oh, there's one, and it's not just a light shower; it's a torrential downpour. So just letting you know. Okay. The big story, as you were mentioning, is how hot we're about to get. So the upper level pattern that we're about to see is known as the heat dome. So what happens is hot air expands in an area and literally causes a dome that forces that hot air to sit there and sinks down to the surface, leading to a heat wave. And notice how it expands. This is Sunday into Monday. It doesn't go anywhere. So this is where you have the worst conditions for prolonged record-breaking temperatures. This doesn't look to be record-breaking. It's just going to be close to it. But the longer it goes, drought feeds drought, heat feeds heat. So the hotter you are, you usually have warmer starting points that can allow the temperature to push a little bit higher. So we're mainly going to be in the mid to the upper 90s next week. So I mentioned the severe chance, but this is going to lead to some pretty hefty heat impacts. We're starting to see that orange go to that red here on this map, and that's going to be on Monday as well. On Tuesday, I think we see some reds and might even see some extreme levels as we're going to have a chance for those heat indices to go from 100 to 105. I think especially on Tuesday. This writing is impossible to read, but when you're under a major thing,
See little to no risk.
Get out your spectacles. Heat will be a risk to everyone without cooling. Workers who are outdoors will be impacted the most. Once you get to extreme, that is really little to no relief. So luckily we're not at that status, but even our 6 to 10 day outlook is keeping an above average threshold that we're going to see temperatures really jump. So as we joked, 89 is literally the coolest high that we're going to have over the next 10. We have 98 degrees on Tuesday. It looks to be the hottest day, so I do cherish you on 98 degrees. That was a 98 degree song, by the way. Yeah,
Cool.
If anyone knows, some people only know Nick Lachey for Love Is Blind.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
One of our producers like that. I was like, oh my gosh, you missed out.
yeah.
on
I was
all
just
this.
like,
boy
What about
band.
no.
Newlyweds? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, no, there was a thing called TRL, but now we're getting off topic.
Yep.
But yeah, you can see the difference. So this is, I'm going to call this a baby heat wave because technically it's our first string of 90s because we have before this had, I think, 2 90-degree days. Now we're starting to see it really take over, which is pretty typical. Here, wrap it up with a bow. Our 7-day forecast, average high 88, our average low 67 means nothing, because everything's going to be 89 to 98, respectively. Lows at 70 to 75. Stay cool, everybody. Plain and simple. With heat exhaustion, it can come pretty quickly. It's affected me. I had it last season.
Yeah,
Truly,
what were you doing?
Truly just sitting outside eating. But one of the biggest harm that you can do to yourself is if you don't drink enough water through the day and you're spending time outside. If you don't eat enough, oftentimes too, low blood sugar can do it for you, where you start to get lightheaded. Plain and simple, when you start feeling thirsty, don't ignore it, no matter how much fun that you have.
Yeah.
If you start to feel faint or dizzy or fatigue, don't continue powering through. And then the big sign is if you're over sweating, go inside and cool off. But if you stop sweating, that means you're on the threshold of heat stroke, and that's serious.
Right, and
So,
even when you're thirsty, it's kind of
Yes.
too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
Like you should be you should not be thirsty.
yeah, and that's the deal. If you know you're going to spend a lot of time outside, you got to drink plenty of water throughout the day. And I know that this sounds silly. Yeah, or Gatorade electrolytes are good too.
electrolytes.
Yeah, actually, the Gatorade makes these smaller bottles. They're supposed to be like a replenisher. I think there's a little bit more salt, plain and simple. But those are really helpful.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like almost like a little mini Pedialyte, so that's helpful. So yeah, you just got to be smart about it. But I always warn, for the first time that we really start to get hot, we forget about it. It's all about the first events, and we said this yesterday. So just be cautious. Like, I have yard work to do, and I'm already going to start to drink water now. And it's very simple. Sometimes it can just be a little bit of a dry feeling in your throat is the first precursor that you're feeling thirsty. I have it right now. I'm going to drink some water after this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good.
remember the dog's paws? Brad,
Oh, yeah.
Brad put this up yesterday, and it's a
Oh,
good
yes.
reminder. Protect your dog's feet,
It's
because it's hot.
okay. I thought it
on
was
the
7
asphalt.
minutes. It's 7 seconds if you put your hand
Yes.
Back of your hand.
back of your hand.
Yeah, because back of your hand's more sensitive.
Sure.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
That's a little bit more sensitive. So 93 is our high today. That means concrete 125, asphalt 140, and blacktop is actually 150 to 155.
Wow.
Wild.
So yeah, the blacktop is pretty ruthless, and you pretty much can keep this going forward. That we're gonna have most afternoons like that. That's why during the summertime I only walk my dog in the morning and the evenings,
Yeah.
because things are a little bit better.
It feels pretty good this morning.
Oh, speaking of a fun stat, I looked back at it. This is actually the least humid morning we've had in a week.
Oh, is that why it feels good?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
felt
okay.
good
Yeah,
walking out.
because I was just like, there's some witchcraft going around here. Yeah, this is the lowest dew point, because dew point's the best way to do that we've had since last Thursday. So, yeah. And that's also the other thing is I kept on bringing how hot we're going to feel yesterday. I think I had 100 for today. We're not going to hit that. I think we have the mid to the upper 90s just because the moisture value is much lower today than it has been the last couple. And even tomorrow is lower than the last couple, but still going to be hot. So you added more degrees to the temperature, but the moisture down, so it's almost the same feel as the last couple of days.
Okay. All right. I did need my glasses to read a couple of those things.
Yes, you got them out. For me, I'm just
You said,
straining
yeah, you need
over
glasses.
here.
I said, yes, I do need my glasses for that.
Hey, well, I'm
Thank
glad
you,
it prompted.
Chris. All right. Very good. And enjoy today, because tomorrow's going to be something else.
Yes. Yeah, it's just do the best you can. Welcome to summer. It's
Welcome
here.
to summer.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we chose to live here in the Carolinas, but it's always first getting used to. It's like when you have the first cold temperatures, after a while you get acclimated to it.
Right.
Before you know it, 2 weeks from now, the lower 90s are going to be nothing.
Nothing.
We'll just be feeling, but that Tuesday 98, not many people ever get used to that.
Right.